Hey, good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us at 7. I'm Tracey McCain.
I'm Caitlin Nuclo. You're watching Eyewitness News here on the Wax. We do have a lot to talk about. It's the first day of school for a lot of kids in our state, and we're also going to bring you back to that breaking news in Southington, where we've just learned that one person was killed in an overnight house fire there.
First, though, we need to get you morning ready and out the door. So let's get a check of your first alert forecast with meteorologist Jill Gilardi. Good morning, Jill.
Good morning. Well, you might just want to bring an umbrella with you for perhaps later today.
Okay.
That's where the better chance for a shower is, but not everyone's going to be needing that umbrella by any means, and especially not this morning. We were tracking these little measly little showers, and it held on to be a little sprinkle or two across northwestern Connecticut. Otherwise, that's over and done with. And then where's all the rain? Well, it's just kind of skimming and skirting the Cape and the island. So we're kind of in between a front and an area of low pressure. We've been monitoring things on First Alert Live Radar, the only live radar in the state. And yeah, that little blip is about to exit our state. So yeah, that's not enough to not water. Yeah, zooming in, just a little sprinkle or two possible. Northwest, we have also been tracking fog. This is one of our foggier views. It really has increased the amount of fog, so the visibility has really decreased in Middletown. So First Alert, it seems like Middlesex County, this is where some of the worst fog is. Chester, there's no miles of visibility. So yeah, that's pretty rough there. Otherwise, not too bad across the rest of our state. Of course, it's first day back to school for some kiddos, and it's going to be in the upper 60s this morning. Dress for summer, because we're going to get into the low 80s this afternoon, mid 70s though for lunch and recess. Yes, we'll have plenty of clouds, but some breaks of sunshine, especially as we get into the afternoon. And there is also that chance for a late day shower too. So upper 70s, low 80s, and feeling muggy out there today. A little sweaty weather, but you may actually need your actual sweater later this week. We'll talk about another cool down coming up in the next 10 to 15 minutes. We'll send it over to you, Kate.
All right, thanks, Jill. Hey, 7:02 here. Breaking first alert. This is in New Haven. Got these details for you. This is 95 southbound between exits 46 and 44. The right lane is blocked off. You can see why. There's all this black smoke coming from this vehicle here. Vehicle fire that's been reported, as you can see, still very active. Fire crews just arrived within the last just couple of minutes here. Less than that, I would say just the last couple of moments. So again, very active scene as this car is still on fire. They've got the fire crews out there with their hose trying to put that out. Smoke is changing color, but this is going to cause some delays as, again, you're traveling through New Haven at 95 southbound, right around exits 46 and 44. Rest of the state not doing terribly. Here's a live look outside in Hartford, right exit 32A and B on 91, by the Mixmaster in Waterbury and 84, Meriden along 691. Some of that fog still really hanging tough here through the Connecticut River Valley. That's a live look outside in Meriden along Route 9. Another update on that crash in New Haven coming up in just about 15-20 minutes from now, and normal delays down through Fairfield County. Let's quick check at your Connecticut Chevy First Alert traffic report driven by your Connecticut Chevy dealers.
All right, let's get to our breaking news situation happening right now in Southington, where one person has died after an overnight house fire.
Anna Stansfield is your reporter live at the scene right now. So Anna, we know this investigation is just beginning, but do you have any new information? What's the update there?
Well, Tracey, Caitlin, good morning. It's really just tragic news here in Southington. As you mentioned, we do know that one person was killed in this very early morning house fire here. It started right around 2:30 here this morning. Fire officials telling us no one else was inside the home at the time when it happened. Take a look at this damage here as police and fire crews remain on the scene. You can see the walls charred and the windows blown out by those flames earlier this morning. Southington's fire chief saying this home is a total loss. Now, this house here on Chafee Street sits on the corner lot right next to Queen Street, which is a very busy road. If you're familiar with Southington, it's a very busy road. You can see those cars coming through the shot there while you're looking at it. The house sits right next to JD's Pizza, and it's right across the street from a ShopRite. Again, if you're familiar with this area, you've likely seen this house many, many times in your life. Southington Fire and the Fire Marshal's office right now are leading the investigation into what happened here this morning as they worked through the evidence that they can find in this house to find out what started this fire here this morning. Of course, as we get those latest details, we're going to bring you that latest information both on air and online. For now, I'm your reporter in Southington, Anna Stansfield, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Well, this morning, Burlington Avenue in Bristol back open to traffic. It was closed for several hours last night after a person was killed in a motorcycle crash right near Cindy Lane. Now, police say 2 motorcycles were traveling northbound when one of them crashed while going around a curve. And the second driver was not seriously hurt and is cooperating with police.
A big update this morning. Today, the New Britain YWCA will reopen its school-age programs, and then on Wednesday, infant, toddler, and preschool programs will resume. They've been closed since the start of the month after a 2-year-old tragically died after choking at the daycare.
Meanwhile, the victim's family is still seeking answers about his death after he was laid to rest on Friday.
The YWCA says the staff followed all emergency protocols, but the victim's mother says she was initially told her son was fine, only to find first responders performing CPR when she arrived to check on him. The Department of Children and Families is investigating. This morning, Hartford police need your help finding the suspect who they say shot and killed a 25-year-old man over the weekend. Police say it happened outside a gas station on Main Street early Sunday morning. Neighbors tell us the gas station is usually pretty busy and say they typically feel safe in that area. Police also looking for a suspect in a separate shooting on Carey Perry Way. Investigators say one man was seriously hurt and want anyone with information on either shooting to give them a call.
Well, this morning, the Hartford community is continuing to mourn the lives of 4 people who died in a devastating house fire last week. A prayer vigil was held yesterday afternoon on Schultes Place. Neighbors and friends came out to show support for the family as well. They're hoping that the tragedy will teach everyone to spend time with the people they cherish.
Hug everyone that you know. You never know when is your last day, so just honor everyone that you have next to you.
A GoFundMe page has been set up for the victim's family. It's raised $5,000. If you'd like to help, we have a link on our website.
Well, Channel 3 is your back-to-school authority, and right now students and parents are getting ready for the first day of school in some places.
Yeah, one of the districts going back to the classroom today is Waterbury. That's where we find your reporter Taylor Knight live with the teachers who have been anxiously awaiting the day. It's getting busier behind you there, Taylor.
Good morning, Caitlin and Tracy. Students are finally starting to arrive here at Kennedy High School in Waterbury. That first bell will ring in just a few minutes at 7:20. Superintendent Dr. Darren Schwartz says that they're excited for these students to be back in the classroom today. And this year, there's some new technology to keep track of exactly who's coming to school every day. When students walk through the doors at school today, they will have to scan their thumbs. Dr. Schwartz says this is all part of the identimetric system. It'll track attendance district-wide so that teachers aren't wasting instructional time doing attendance. He also says it's an additional safety measure for Waterbury students and teachers.
With some of our schools being almost 1,500 students, that as the students come in, it's a big push, and to identify who's one of our students or not has been difficult over the years, and so this is just an easy measure for us to know every student that walks in is our student in the Waterbury Public Schools, belongs there.
And for any student in 6th grade and above, a warning: you will have to keep your phone locked up in a yonder pouch throughout the school day. Your reporter live in Waterbury, Taylor Knight, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Well, Hampton Public Schools also welcoming students back today, and the superintendent says he is always looking forward to having a fresh start.
That excitement of the first day of school, what they're going to learn, the new adventures, they've grown up a little bit, they're a little bit more mature, so they're excited to be back, and we're happier even to have them back than they are excited to be back.
All right, one major change that students there are going to have to get used to, the district's new cell phone policy. Phones are off limits to kids in kindergarten through 8th grade, and then high schoolers will be allowed to only check them in the hallway between classes.
Well, today in Hartford, local and federal leaders are sounding the alarm about recent federal cuts and how they could impact our schools. Officials say cuts to food assistance programs and new tariff policies are raising the price of school supplies and limiting access to free school lunch programs. The Yale Budget Lab says the new tariffs will cost the average family $2,400 this year. And in just a few hours, a former Shelton High School teacher and coach is expected in court facing charges related to an alleged sexual assault of a student. Police say Jason Keimer is out on bond after officers arrested him on Friday. Police are asking anyone who may have been a victim or has information to call police.
A major offshore wind project that was set to provide power across our state is now at risk of being shut down. This comes as President Trump issued a stop work order just on Friday.
Right now, the company is complying with that order, but local officials are pushing back. Senator Richard Blumenthal released a statement saying, in part, quote, as Connecticut families' electric bills skyrocket, the Trump administration is canceling critical clean energy projects that would lower utility bills and have created good-paying union jobs for our state's workforce.
Well, today, Governor Lamont will discuss the state's response to that decision to stop construction there. He says the project was set to be completed next year and would have powered more than 350,000 homes in our state and in Rhode Island.
Well, tonight in Fairfield, the community is hosting a hero's welcome for the Fairfield National Little League baseball team.
Yeah, this is very exciting. A big parade is scheduled. It will start at the Dairy Queen on Post Road and then finish up at 5:30 on the Sherman Green, where the team will be given a key to the city. And even though they fell short of winning, they had an incredible run and they captured the hearts of many fans across our state. You can watch that parade live on our streaming service, WFSB Plus.